Hello everyone, welcome to Snapcraft Live once again. My name's Alan Pope. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm sure my colleagues who are in the chat right now will vouch for whether you can hear me or not. We do these every so often, usually on Fridays now. We used to do them on Wednesdays, but we're switched to Friday because it's more convenient. And the idea behind this is it's a informal kind of session of tutorials and Q&A, and the idea is you'll learn some stuff about Snapcraft, a little bit about snaps, and it gives you an opportunity to talk to us, the developers of Snapcraft and Snapd, to let us know if you've got any problems or you're having issues packaging something as a snap, or any problems related to Snap and Snapcraft. You can bring to us. I'll introduce in the chat, if you're watching live, anyone with a blue name. I assume they show up as blue for you unless you've got some wacky theme. Martin and Sergio, who work on the team, working on Snapcraft and snaps. And we also have Daniel in there, who's a super active community member responsible for snapping a whole bunch of applications you will have heard of. Some you may already have installed. So lovely to see them in there. Thank you. And if you ask any questions, they may well be the ones to answer it. So I consider them my tag team during these Snapcraft live sessions. So this week, we're going to do something a little bit different. If you've followed any of these videos previously, you'll know that we've talked a lot about Snapcraft and the Snapcraft YAML and building your application into a snap using Snapcraft and the Snapcraft YAML. We're going to do things a little bit different today because we're going to look at building an Electron application. And you might think, well, why would you not still use Snapcraft and a Snapcraft YAML? Well, you can still do that, but what I want to highlight today is a feature that's built into or part of the Electron ecosystem that can build snaps without you having to manually create that Snapcraft YAML. And that's called electron-builder. So electron-builder is a utility that's part of the Electron ecosystem, and electron-builder can build snaps. It can produce all kinds of packages. In fact, it can create debs and RPMs, and one of the packages it can create is snap. And so what I want to do is we're going to go through that, how that works and how we build a snap and all that kind of good stuff. But I want to highlight a few web pages you might want to open in another tab or bookmark for later. I've got some notes that I've taken, and all of these URLs will be in the description underneath this video when it finishes. So if you're watching later and not live, then just scroll down and you should see all of these notes down below. So that's the goal today. We're going to package up an Electron application, understand how we do it. So all my notes are over here in this text file. Hopefully that text is big enough. It looks like it. I can make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So the goal is learn how to build snaps with Electron and locate all the documentation to be able to do that. So we're going to grab a simple Electron application. We're going to make it build snaps, build it, look at, what was I going to write there? Look at the documentation. Yeah, probably. I think I was going to write look at the documentation there, but I think also I was going to talk about how we can modify some further settings, kind of advanced mode. We'll figure that out when we get there. So let's start with some of the pages that would be worth bookmarking. If you ever visit Snapcraft.io, the homepage, you'll see this big green button. And when you hit that big green button, you get taken to this, what we call the first snap flow. You'll see the page is first-snap. And the idea behind this is you drive the website depending upon what type of application you want to snap. For example, we're going to follow this path, but if you were building something else, a Go application or a Java application, then you would click one of the others. But I just wanted to highlight this because this is how you can find your path to some of our documentation. And here's some of that documentation, which is on docs.snapcraft.io. all the way down there. We'll cover a lot of this in this video, but that's for your reference. And another thing to look at that's probably a good place to go is this electron-builder page. I'll probably reference this a couple of times in the video, so just go to electron.build/configuration/snap. So let's start with why you would want to do this. So you could think of this being slightly different from some of the other videos we've done. This video is really targeting the Electron developer, the person who's creating applications using Electron. And that differs a little bit from some of the others that we've done. As I mentioned, in the previous videos, we've used a Snapcraft YAML, and we've edited that, and then we've run Snapcraft over and over again in order to build our snap. And this differs slightly because typically a developer of an Electron application is possibly on another platform. It may well be that the Electron developer is building their application on Windows or on a Mac. And if that's the case, then it's a little bit more problematic getting their application onto Linux. Often if you're on a Windows platform and you want to target Linux, one of the problems might be, well, I don't have any Linux systems to test this stuff out. Or if you're on a Mac, you might not have any Linux systems to test it out. And the goal of this is to make it easy for you to build those Linux snaps on Windows, on the Mac, or on Linux. If you have a Linux machine, you could then publish that snap in the store and put out a call for testing. So you might not have Linux systems that you have available to test this stuff out, but by putting your snap in the store and letting your community know that you've now published a beta version maybe of your application in the Snap Store, they can then help you by testing that stuff out. So that's kind of the thought process behind this. You're an Electron developer and you want to reach some of those millions of Linux users. And the easiest way to do that is with a snap. So let's go through some of the things to highlight. So I've highlighted this little Electron Quick Start project, which I think I didn't put in here. So let's go there. Now, the reason I'm using this is rather than a really significantly sized Electron application to build, is because this is nice and quick. This will build fast, and you won't have to sit there watching me, build this software. So I'm going to clone this project as an example, and this is the one I think we use in all the documentation. So let's jump to a terminal, and I always got my snaps folder, and I'm going to clone that repository. Now, if we look in that directory where we've cloned, you'll see it's a JavaScript application. It's Electron, and so there's a .js file, there's an index.html, and it's really super basic. Like, it just displays a version number. It's not a very complicated Electron application. It's like the hello world of Electron applications, right? Now, typically the way you would build this is with tools such as npm and yarn, which are part of Node, and the Node doesn't ship by default on my platform, on my desktop, but you may already have Node installed. If you don't, then you could probably go and find it somehow, I'm sure. But conveniently, Node is available for me as a snap. Oh, that's a bit big. So this Node snap contains the tools I'm going to need in order to build a snap of this Electron application. And that Node package is available as a snap. Now, this is published by Node Source. You see the little green tick there shows that it's a verified developer. And there are lots of versions that are supported by Node Source. And so you can see here, depending upon what version of Node your application is built for, maybe built with Node 12, 11, or whatever previous release, you can go and get that version of Node very easily from the Snap Store. So all you need to do is snap install Node, and then the channel that you're going to use that relates to the version of Node that you want. So I'm just going to go straight for Node 12 because it's the latest stable release. Dan tells me that Node 10 is the current LTS release. Well, okay, well, let's use Node 10 then. We can use that one. You can see in the Edge channel there's Node 13. That's the the developer build of Node with npm and yarn and all that kind of stuff in it. So if you want to fly by the seat of your pants, you can subscribe to the Edge channel and get the latest version of Node. But I'm going to choose an LTS version because Dan said in the chat, and that makes most sense. Now, it is a classic snap, so I will have to put -- classic on the end. The reason it's classic is because it's a compiler and a package manager, and it needs access to lots of arbitrary paths on the file system. Ideally, our snaps are not classic, but in this case, it currently is. So I've now got Node installed, and at this point, as the Electron application developer, you could build your application with whatever the command is that you would normally use. So you might have to run npm install, or you might have to do npm run build or something like that. Whatever the command is that you would normally use, you've now got npm available, or it could be yarn, whichever of those you've selected. Now, let's suppose that we want to now build a snap out of this thing. Well, there's a little change we need to make to our project, and I just want to make sure I've not missed anything. Yes. So let's open this directory in my text editor, and I'll show you what the project looks like. So I mentioned the index.html. It looks like that. There's a little bit of JavaScript, but there's also this package.json. And this is the thing that's going to drive the build. So unlike the previous ones where we've used Snapcraft YAML, this Node application uses package.json. And what we need to do is add electron-builder as a dev dependency for this project, because electron-builder is the tool that we're going to actually use to build this application. Now, there's two ways you can do it. You can either come in here and then go electron-builder and then manually type it in like some kind of animal, or you can do this. In my terminal, if I go npm install save dev electron-builder, it'll do that for me. There we go. So this is going to go and figure out what's necessary to add to that package.json. So I'm getting interesting questions in the chat. Well, I'll address one of them. Why is the computer called KinkPad? It's because it's a ThinkPad laptop and it's running KDE. So KDE ThinkPad, KinkPad. There you go. That's why. So while this is running, what it will do is it will add a line to my package.json, which will add electron-builder as a dev dependency, and it's electron-builder that has the brains to build a snap, right? And so some time ago, the capability to build snaps was added to electron-builder. So that's all we need to pull in as a dependency. That's the idea anyway. So next question, Adam says, I thought electron-builder recommended yarn. Yeah. Those recommendations change over time. Could be NPM, could be yarn. Some developers stick with NPM. Some people use yarn, as I understand it. I'm not an Electron developer. I don't even play one on TV. But you can use either, and I just happen to use NPM. And that's what our documentation says, so that's fine. So now, if we look at the package.json, it's added this line here. So this means that it's going to pull in electron-builder as a development dependency. Now, there's one other line we need to add, and that's up here. And we're going to add an extra script, which is going to allow us to build the snap. So we're going to put in here a script name, which we're going to call dist for create a distribution. And we're going to say build a Linux package, make a snap. So what this is going to do is when we come to run that script, run that dist script, it's then going to build the application and it's specifically going to build a snap. Now, electron-builder can obviously build other things. I mentioned earlier, it can build debs, it can build RPMs, it can build all kinds of things. But we, for the purposes of this demo, I'm only going to build a snap. What a lot of developers do is they build all of the different packages. They'll build a DMG for Mac, a Windows installer file for Windows, and all the others. I'm only going to build a snap because that'll make it fast for me to do the demo. So next up, what do I need to do? I should be able to just do npm run dist. So all I'm doing is running that script. Let's see what happens when I do that. So you can see there electron-builder fired up, and you can see it's building for platform Linux, architecture x64, whatever version of Electron is using, and it builds the application in this folder dist Linux unpacked. So that's where all the raw files go that make up this Electron application. So that's going to be the HTML file and the JavaScript that I already showed you, plus all of the other bits of Electron that are needed to construct the window and paint everything in the window, right? Next, it says building target snap. Aha. So that's going to be a file that's also in this dist directory. So let's have a look in there. If I open another terminal and look in dist Linux unpacked. So those are all the files that make up the application, including all of the various libraries that are needed, and all the other binaries and bits and bobs that make up a typical Electron application. And when that's finished, it's going to compress that into a snap. Now, I've mentioned before that Snapcraft, when it builds a snap, it pulls together lots of parts, and that's effectively what this is doing. It's pulling together a load of parts and putting them together in the correct directories, and it will add a little bit of metadata, and that metadata is in a file called snap.yaml, and then it's going to compress it all into a .snap file, and that's it. A snap file is really just a squashfs file which contains the file system with all of your files that make up your application and a little bit of metadata. It's also clever enough to add things like a desktop file so that it shows up in your desktop launcher, menu, whatever. It also adds an icon, and you'll get the stock Electron icon in this case because I didn't specify otherwise. And obviously all of these things you can change. And that's where this documentation comes in handy over here. So these are the snap specific bits of configuration, but there's also loads of other common configuration you find up here. So here's where you can set like the name, the description, the author, the license, the version number, all that kind of good metadata that you're going to want to set anyway. There's documentation for all of that in here. And then down here under Linux Snap, there's the stuff that's specific to building a snap, and we'll come back to that in just a minute. This is taking a little while, isn't it? Any questions while we do this? Oh, perfect timing. No questions. Right, let's move on. So now, if we look in the dist folder, there is both that Linux unpacked directory, and then there's this snap. Boom. So, simple as that. It's running the dist script has built a snap, and I can just install that. So let's just do snap install dist, and then I'm going to add dangerous on the end because this hasn't been uploaded to the store. It could contain anything, you know. So another thing that's worth noting, this is a strictly confined snap. It's not classic, it's not dev mode. That's the default. You can change that. As I said, there's a whole bunch of documentation in here, and one of those options is confinement. So as you can see here, strict is the default, but there are other options for confinement, and there's a whole load of other options. As I said, we'll come back to that. So that's now installed. So if I do snap info electron quick start, boom, it's installed. So now that I've got that Electron application installed, I could run it. And I can do that in either from the menu. If I go up here and type in electron, you can see there's electron. Oops, sorry, I moved the mouse. Electron. I can't type. There we go. There's my electron quick start. And it had the default electron icon. That little light blue icon you saw there briefly is the default electron icon. Where's it gone? Did that not launch? Ooh. Something didn't work. I wonder what went wrong there. Oh. Oh dear. This is strange. This worked earlier. Why does it not work now? I'm confused. Because I did this earlier as a test. I don't know what's changed. Yeah, that one worked. Now, interestingly, I built this earlier with node 12 and not node 10. I followed Dan's advice, that's why. Let's try this again. I think I need newer. I think I need newer node. So let's try that. Well, we've gone off piste a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap info node. Let's try that one. So what I'm going to do is snap refresh node channel. Whoops, equals 12 stable. The reason why I'm doing this is because that's a bit strange. So that problem that occurred, there was a binary in the oh, there's another option I can try. I see Sergio's offered a suggestion. Let me take a step back. So when I run electron quick start, it complains. There is an option that Sergio suggests, no sandbox. No. That's weird. So let's try rebuilding it again with node 12. Let's try rebuilding it again. Run dist. I wonder if it will actually rebuild it. The reason why I want to rebuild it with node 12 is just because I built it with node 12 earlier. And so I have a feeling it... do I need to clean this? This is interesting. What if it's still going to do this? What was the binary that it was complaining about? It was the Chrome sandbox binary. So in dist Linux unpacked, it's that beastie there. So, that's strange. So Sergio is suggesting remove the sandbox binary first. So I hear what you're saying, Sergio, but I didn't have to do this earlier. I built this. I mean, the fact that I've got this built electron from exactly the same quick start Popey, that one was built using node 12 and not node 10, which makes me think something has changed between those two releases of node. And if we look in snap electron quick start Popey current, the Chrome sandbox isn't there, and I didn't remove it. So I wonder if newer node is doing something interesting there. We shall find out. I have a feeling I need to destroy this, and because, well, we'll see. Is it still there? Yeah, this is... I think I'm going to have to rebuild this, aren't I? Let's kill that. Yeah, ignore all that red. That's Let's get rid of everything it built and run it again. And then we'll have a look and see in dist Linux Unpacked. It's still there. I wonder if it cleans it up on the way to making a snap. This is interesting, isn't it? So usually these demos go, you know, always perfectly and never have a problem. But today, not so much. Any other questions while we're here? Bear with me just a few moments. Yes, all hail. I didn't sacrifice something to the demo gods. My own fault. Also, going off piste. I didn't stick to what I'd done earlier. Oh man, this is awesome. Well, at least the OBS is working, so that's good. Oh, dearie me. Right. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Yeah, everything's okay. It's not bad going. This is what, 5th, 6th, 7th one of these where it's pretty much all gone okay. So ways around this. One, you can remove the binary, remove the sandbox binary, the Chrome sandbox binary. Another option, well, I don't know if Sergio has any other suggestions, but this is very strange. Oh my gosh, do I really want to click that? Come on, come on, come on. I should point out I'm actually using the snap of OBS to show this, which features hardware accelerated encoding on the Intel CPU. So that's working well. So other suggestions. So Zigger is suggesting we organize it away, but what we're doing here is using electron-builder, so we're not actually creating a Snapcraft YAML ourselves. So let's remove it. Well, no, let's just install over the top. Dist dangerous. So what? Why is that? I don't understand why my one works and this one doesn't. Electron quick start current. That's what's in electron quick start current. And in the Popey one, it's completely different. Blink. Chrome. They're wildly different. What have I done differently? I actually have a copy of the YAML. Sorry, the JSON. And let me just have a look and see if I've made a mistake. Oh, yes, I do. This is completely different to the one I built earlier. So yeah, it's a newer version of Electron. The one that I did earlier, I used Electron 2. Yeah, so Zigga, I appreciate that we could unpack the snap and rip out the file that shouldn't be there and then repack the snap. But from a developer's perspective, they shouldn't have to do this. This is not something an Electron developer should normally have to do. So the version that I did previously was based on Electron 2 and electron-builder 2027.1. So if IRM RF dist and then run npm run dist. Oh. Have I actually changed it or not? Am I in the right directory? Right. So as Sergio said, the newer version of Electron has sandboxing. It's still using 5. I didn't clean this properly, did I? Is it npm clean? Clean? No. What is it? How do you clean install? No, clean install test. Oh, npm install again. Wow. So if I go back to our documentation, what do I recommend on our documentation? Down here, yes, that's what it says in our documentation. So the problem comes because I cloned the repository, which uses, oh look, bump to 5.0. So I think we need to do something about this in electron-builder, surely. Electron 2. Yeah, I think that's worked. npm run dist. Has it worked? Yeah. So if you follow the documentation and probably use node 10 LTS is fine. So my using a newer version of Node is a red herring. It's definitely the version of Electron we're using that's the problem. And I'm not sure how new a version of Electron you can go. Oh, good. Sergio's taking the... Oh, dear. Yes, this does appear to be a problem with electron-builder. Well, it's... I mean, to be fair, is this a problem with electron-builder that it's... it's just building it as it expects to build it on for other platforms. But yeah, our sandboxing doesn't allow that. So that's interesting. But the good news is we've got the developer of Snapcraft sat in the chat. Or one of the developers of Snapcraft sat in the chat. So we'll get that fixed. Oh, crikey. So that was an interesting debugging session, I think. Yes. Well done, everyone. Round of applause. Thanks, Ev. Oh, dear me. So let's have a look at, while that's building, let's go back to the documentation because there's a couple of things I wanted to mention in here. In our previous videos, in the Snapcraft YAML, we've done a lot of specifying stage packages and specifying plugs, the interfaces, and specifying all kinds of other things. And when we're building using electron-builder, we're not manually creating that Snapcraft YAML. And so we need to have control over some of those settings because, for example, your application, your Electron application might require additional stage packages or might require additional interfaces to be specified. And that's where this lot comes in. So you can see here, it is possible to specify stage packages. So there is a set of defaults. These are the default libraries that get pulled in when the Electron application is built as a snap, and these are added to fulfill the requirements that Electron has. But if you have anything over and above that, like OpenGL or some other, maybe if your application is a password manager, you need libsecret or something like that, then you can specify with stage packages in there. If your application needs access to additional interfaces, you can specify them. These are the defaults that get specified for all Electron applications built with electron-builder like this. But if you need additional plugs to be specified, you can list them in the package.json as well. So it does note that you have to specify default, which gives you that set, and then a comma separated list of any additional plugs. And that's the same for stage packages. If you specify default, you get all of those, and then add any additional ones you want on top of that. Oh, look, it's finished building. So, I mean, this will work now, won't it? Obviously, because we're using an older version of Electron. Oops. Dangerous. Right, so that was a bit of a roller coaster, wasn't it? So now if I run Electron quick start, it shouldn't crash. Woo, yeah, it started on another monitor. Sorry about that. There it is. Hallelujah. So that's an interesting debugging session. Where are we on our list of what we were doing? Oh no, that's not it. Where's my there it is. So we wanted to grab a simple Electron app, modify it to build snaps. So the modification was twofold. Make sure we specify Electron Builder, and make sure we add a script to enable it to build a snap. Look at the documentation. Ah, yes, I mentioned the documentation. So I mentioned here you might need to specify additional interfaces. We do have a list of all supported interfaces and what they give access to. So that's useful. And we do have documentation for building Electron applications, which I mentioned earlier, which is this documentation here. You should be able to find that just by typing Electron into the Snapcraft docs site. Wow, that was a challenge, wasn't it? So I assume by the time you watch this, Sergio will have made a fix in Electron Builder, and this will all be fixed, and you won't have to do that crazy workaround I did by using an older version of Electron. There is, as Zigger said, there is another workaround, and that is the fact that this snap file is actually just a squashfs file, and you could unpack it, use unsquashfs, that file, and then remove that offending binary. So you could actually build it with Electron 5, and the snap would build successfully. You could then unpack it, remove that offending file, and then repack it again with mk-squashfs. And by repacking it, you're repacking it without the offending binary, and that snap should then work. And that should be it. You should only need to do that until we get the application Electron Builder fixed. So yeah, bit awkward, but that should work. We've had a question from Adam. Can't find signatures with metadata. So that error message there, it just means that it this is a side. We're trying to sideload an application, and it didn't come from the store. So there's no signature from the store and assertion file from the store to say that this has been validated by the Snap store, and that's why we have to specify that -- dangerous. There you go. Oh, an additional suggestion from Zigger. Oh, okay. So we could try this. Should we give this a go? So how did we clean this again? It was just npm install. So we could revert back to, let's do this in expert mode, shall we? We'll go back to, where were we? Electron Builder, Electron 5. So do we want to try and build this and rip it apart, see what happens? Let's npm install. Oh, right. Okay, yes. The error messages are sometimes confusing here. Okay, so we're getting the new version. So I said you could unsquash it, remove the offending file, and then re-squash it again. I said use mksquashfs because I've used that in the past, but it seems there's a better way, which is to use snappack. I've not used snappack, so this is going to be a voyage of discovery for me as well. I do know that when you run mksquashfs, you need to specify a whole bunch of parameters, because if you don't, then the store will reject the snap because it hasn't been compressed in a particular way. Right, so let's build this nonsense again. Gosh, we've been joined by lots of other people from from Canonical. Wait, what? There's Snapcraft pack as well? Look at that. I could use Snapcraft to repack a snap. The layout of the directory should contain a valid meta snap.yaml in order to be a valid snap. Okay, that's cool. And if I do snap pack, I bet I have to do snap help pack. Is that going to work? Yes. Okay. Interesting. Good. Okay. So that's good to know. Does Snapcraft pack use snap pack under the covers? Okay. Okay. So we could use either. Okay. Gosh. I should add these to the notes, shouldn't I? Commands. There we go. Snap pack. And Snapcraft pack. I'll put these in the notes underneath. And also snap help pack. Snap pack help while this is building. And Snapcraft help pack. Well, the nice thing about using snappack is you can just pack an arbitrary directory full of stuff. So if you've got a directory full of binaries and libraries in the directory structure that a snap should be in, the only thing you need to do is put the meta/snap.yaml in there and run snappack, and it will make you a snap that's valid that could be uploaded to the snap store. Wicked. Sorry, this is taking a little while. Any other questions that my colleagues can answer? Good news is I have them hanging around in the chat, so they can answer the hard questions that I can't answer. Right. So, in theory, I can. Let's make a temp directory and copy the snap in here, and let's just make sure it is actually busted, just to prove. Oh my gosh, where is it? Right, let's just check this is broken. We want this to not work, right? Electron quick start. Boom, busted. Okay, so unsquashfs the snap. So this unpacks it into a folder beneath where I currently am. And so what I want to do under there is remove the Chrome sandbox binary, which is the offending binary that it's complaining about, this guy here. And then I think, getting excellent bash tab completion tips from Adam Collard from the store team there. Thank you. The other thing we need to do is edit the meta YAML, snap.yaml, I guess, to add to the apps thing. Do we add it there? No sandbox, I think. Dash node sandbox. I think that should do it. I'll wait for confirmation from Sergio. Oh, I can also snap try. Yes, of course I can. Instead of snap pack. Yes. Oh, this is the. We're going to learn loads here. I'm going to have to add this in here. Snap try. Dirt. Right. So we have now got a directory which has a fixed snap YAML. Squashfs meta snap YAML. Right, so that has the no sandbox and there's no Chrome binary in there. So I should be able to do snap try. So this will present the contents of that directory as if it were the snap. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so in theory, if I do snap info, it looks like, you know, Electron Quick Start Snap is installed, but it's actually in try mode, which means there's not actually a physical snap that has been mounted. It's mounted this wacky directory here that's on my hard drive as if it were a snap. So now if I run Electron Quick Start, in theory, oh, what? It didn't pass that no sandbox in. What? Oh, man. So if I need to snap remove Electron Quick Start, I guess. Oh, no, I can carry on editing it, can't I? Yes. Of course, I can just keep on editing this. This is cool. Oh, my gosh. So that doesn't work. Do I need to edit command.sh for that to work? Is it that I need to run? Electron Quick Start, no sandbox. Okay, let's try that. I did, so this is good. We've got two people giving different suggestions. Yes. Okay. So what we've done there is edit this command.show wrapper, which I believe gets generated by electron-builder, and that now has in it the no sandbox on the end. So I don't need to reinstall this because I've done snap try. It's mounted that directory, and in theory, if I just run that, oh, what? No such file or directory. What did I do wrong there? Huh. Would have worked if command.show took arguments, yes. But it's not working, so what's wrong with that? Quotes where? Quoting quotes what? I don't understand what's wrong with that. Too many? No, there's one there, and there's one there. Needs to be, no sandbox needs to be separate. Why? Oh, I see. I'm an idiot. I see. So in theory, that should now work. Yay! It worked. What a palaver. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what have we learned there? Don't go off-piste when you do a demo. copy and paste the documentation directly from the website. Don't try and do it on your own. Okay, so let's review what we've done. We have, at the moment, got an Electron application built as a snap, but due to a bug in electron-builder or Snapcraft somewhere, we have a binary inside the snap which won't work when it's snapped and published in the Snap store. So the workaround we've done is to unpack that and then remove the file and modify the launcher that gets created by electron-builder, which is command.sh, in order to add an additional parameter to tell Electron not to worry about the fact that the Chromium sandbox binary is no longer there, because it doesn't need to, because as it's a snap, it's confined anyway. So it doesn't need to use that Chromium sandbox because snaps are sandboxed anyway. So that's where we are right now. But we used snap try, remember, which means that this directory here is effectively mounted up here as snap electron quick start current. Like, that's the same stuff. So what I'm going to do is snap remove that electron quick start, which will undo the try. Is there a snap untry? That would be really quite cool. The reason I say untry is just, yeah, I realise this is stupid. Right, so I've removed electron quick start. Now what I want to do is pack that back up, because currently I've got this squashfs root directory that I want to turn back into a snap. So in theory, let's move the snap out of the way, and we'll call that one broken snap. Yep. And then we'll go snap pack squashfs root. Why does that not tab complete? I should be able to just do that, right? What this will do, in theory, is give me a new snap. Okay, so the reason I said it would be nice if there was a snap untry is because snap remove removes all revisions of the snap, not just the one that I currently have installed. So that's why I thought untry would be nice, to just undo the snap try and leave the old revisions. I mean, the other option is to do snap remove snap name -- revision equals number. But so this is taking a little while. I think probably what's happening is somewhere there's an MK squashfs. Oh my gosh, what is that doing? I thought there might be an MK squashfs sitting there. What is that doing? Okay. But hopefully this will give me a working snap, and I should be able to snap install this. And I could even push this into the store. Yeah, Zig is confirmed. I could just do snap remove -r for the revision and then the number. Would snap revert untry? That's an interesting question. I hadn't thought about snap revert. Now, I happen to have used snap pack. I could have used Snapcraft pack. Gosh, this is taking a while, isn't it? Okay, so it is making one. It is busily making that, and that's probably growing in size. Yes, it is. Okay, good. My laptop's a little bit slow because it's also, you know, encoding this video and uploading. Okay. Watching the chat for these videos is sometimes more entertaining than watching the video itself. Don't you find? Oh, come on. This is taking a while. Why is that taking so long? I mean, it's quite big, I'll grant. Is it MD5 summing files as it's compressing them or something? I don't know. It just feels. I mean, that is quite big. So in theory, you can use this same process to package any Electron application. And if you're using a version of Electron older than 5, it should just work and shouldn't have this problem of the Chromium sandbox. And this is something we've seen recently with another application. So we had to do this on another application. Problem was it's a proprietary application. We don't have access to the sources, so we had to kind of do a bit of ninja work to do this. So there we go. It has built it. Snap, and I don't need to MD5 sum the two because you can see they're different sizes. So in theory, I should be able to reinstall this snap, which is no different than me doing the snap try on that squashfs. Okay. Yeah, Sergio's saying it shouldn't take this long to do a snap pack, but I find it always takes quite a while on my CPU, on my computer. I don't know if it's I have a slow drive or something. I don't know. Right, so Electron quick start. Just run that. Whoa. It works. Gosh. That was quite a palaver, wasn't it? Fun though, I think. We've learned quite a lot of things there. Now the other thing Sergio suggested I use Snapcraft pack. We could just show that. So if I move that one out the way and call it Snap Pack there, I could equally use Snapcraft pack. Squashfs root. Oh my god. Why is tab completion not working? Oh, look. That looks nice already. You see? The Snap developers could learn from Snapcraft here. I've got coloured text. I've got an animated rotating thing. I feel a lot more confident this is working now. Not just a no prompt and it not telling me anything. So that's good. Anything else we need to mention? My colleagues can probably tell me while we're waiting for this to pack. Anything I didn't put in the notes? Nope, I think I covered everything in there. Wow. I have to say, this is not normal to have to unpack a snap and then monkey around with it and then repack it. It's possible. It's totally doable, as you've seen. You can unsquash, monkey around with the contents, use snap try, and then continue to monkey around with contents while you're using snap try because you've effectively got that directory mounted as a snap. It's entirely possible to monkey around with it and then repack it again with Snapcraft pack or snap pack. But it's not something. I mean, you can see how unfamiliar I am with this. I've made 100 snaps or more, and I've only done this twice in the last 2 years. So it's not something you would be expected to do. We're doing this as a workaround for a bug in wherever it is, electron-builder or Snapcraft. Under normal circumstances, I would expect you to just run npm run dist, and it would spit out a snap. You could take that snap, install it, or publish it in the store. Like, either one of those would work, though. Adam's asking a question as well that I haven't done, actually, and one thing I could do, this is... Adam gave a lightning talk about this recently. So what a lot of people do when they want to look inside what's inside a snap, they'll unsquashfs it, -L, to see the contents of a snap.
but Adam suggests actually just using less instead. So I should be able to do that. Okay. That didn't work. I'm running 1804, so I don't know if my less is not very smart and doesn't know how to less a snap file. Maybe only in newer releases. Maybe there needs to be a stable release update for less command to enable it to have the smarts to look inside a snap. Or maybe because that one, is in the middle of building. Is that why? Let's do the broken one. Hey, it works. Okay, ignore me. It was nothing to do with that. So, yes, this is much more pleasant. You get to see the file sizes, the date stamps, everything. Oh, this is lovely. So, yeah, look inside a snap with less. Then you can use all your usual, vi keys to operate less. That's rather cool. I like that. So, yes, forgive me, Adam. Less does work on 1804. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And look, my snap that was built with Snapcraft has finished. So in theory, yes, there we go. That one is the same size as that one because that one was made with Snappack, that one was made with Snapcraft. And just to complete the story, we can install that one that was packed with Snapcraft and it should work. Quick start. In theory, a window will appear over here somewhere. Yes. Boom. There's my Electron application. Gosh, that was fun. So, what have we learned today? You can snap Electron applications. You don't need to be an expert with Snapcraft to do it. In theory, it's a couple of lines in your package.json. And it can be integrated into your existing build environment, your existing CI system, and it will just spit out a snap. You may even find that there are some Electron applications in GitHub that already have snaps in their releases directory, and they didn't even know it because electron-builder was spitting out snaps for them automatically. So at that point, you could then publish your snap in the store, put out a call for testing, have people test it from the beta channel, and if you're happy with it, you can then release it into the stable channel and support it from there. Well, that was quite challenging. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you to all my colleagues who provided all the assistance in the chat. These videos we do most Fridays now, and we're always love to hear your feedback. So comments down the bottom, or feel free to ping me on IRC. I'm in the #Snappy and #Snapcraft channel on Freenode. Also, you'll find the Snapcraft.io on Twitter, and also we're on Mastodon. I can show you all these lovely places so you can bookmark them. So yeah, we've got this YouTube channel, Snapcraft.io. Feel free to subscribe and smack that little dingly bell to get notified when we do one of these next time. We're on Twitter, Snapcraft.io as well. We're also on Mastodon, ubuntu.social/Snapcraft.io. Thank you for watching, and maybe see you at the next one of these crazy debugging sessions that we call Snapcraft Live. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.